fixer drone detected. System malfunctioning.
When you're ready, send up a flare so Torres can pick you up.
System reactivated.
Helo inbound.
Incoming. High-risk hostile. System reactivated.
Discharge required to stabilize reactor.
System restored. Target approaching. System curtailed.
Agent, stay proxy. Hunters incoming.
System reactivated. System malfunctioning.
Torres is waiting for your signal. Shoot off a flare when you're ready to come.
System restored. Rogue Firefly detected. System curtailed. System back online. An agent needs assistance.
Hello everyone, welcome to another build video. For today's video I want to show you my Bluescreen build. This is the new exotic that just dropped, and I've been testing this weapon for the past 2 weeks, and this is the build that I was able to come up with it. And let's go over into the build. Now usually I start with the weapons, but for today I'm going to start with the gear and then go to the weapons to explain you why I choose this gear set. This high-end items. So first of all, we have the Gilagward, which is 5% total armor with critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and critical hit chance. For the chest piece, I have the Grupo Sombra with critical hit damage, hit chance, and headshot. I need to farm for a better one than this. I wanted more critical hit chance in here, so I can swap this one to a critical hit damage with the talent spotter. So the spotter amplifies total weapon damage and skill damage by 50% to pulse enemies. For the holster, I choose the Seska to give me the 10% critical hit chance with critical hit damage and critical hit chance. For the knee pads, I have the Overlord Fox Sprayers knee pads, the name one, to give me that 10% rifle damage because I'm using a rifle, and also the damage to target auto cover, which is multiplicative damage. For the gloves, I have the Contractor's gloves. They give me 10% LMG, armor, and damage to armor. Again, this is multiplicative damage and also critical hit damage. And for the backpack, I have the Ozina Jetica, which is 5% total armor. With armor, critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and critical hit chance with vigilance. So why did I choose this one? As you can see, I have here Ozina that gives me 5% total armor, and the Gilagward that gives me 5% total armor as well. So that counts as 10% total armor. So I reach with 3 blues to 1.4 million armor. So this is why I wanted to go with this, because it makes spotter talent better in my opinion. Most of the time when I use spotter is because you don't have breakable. You're probably gonna end up dying, but with this build alone it makes it better, because if you do 6 red cores you have 726k armor, but with this build you have 1.4 million armor. So that's basically unbreakable without having the unbreakable with spotter on it. So that's why I choose to make the this build like this for the Bluescreen. Now let's go over into the weapon, the Bluescreen. So first of all, it's an LMG weapon. As you can see here, it has the basic core attributes and attributes for an LMG. So damage to target out of cover and damage to armor with the talent disrupt. So shooting an enemy marks that enemy and adds a stack of to the agent up to a count of 50. Shooting a marked enemy refreshes the mark and adds a stack to the agent. When you deploy a non-skilled shield, remove all stacks on agent and all marked targets trigger an effect. Now these are the effects. So we have here from 1 to 10 bullets plus mark targets for 5 seconds, 11 to 25 pulse and disrupt targets for 5 seconds, 26 to 45 stacks, pulse, disrupt, and disoriented marked targets for 5 seconds, and 50 stacks, pulse, disrupt, and disoriented marked targets, and all hostiles within 10 meters of the marked target for 5 seconds. This effect will trigger immediately if the marked enemy is killed. So what does this mean is that whatever doesn't matter how many bullets you shoot, once you use a skill, then you can trigger the pulse. So that's why I choose the spotter for this one, is because you're going to pulse the enemies, especially if you reach the 50 stacks. You'll pulse a lot of enemies, and then you can usually use the Bluescreen. So this is the reason why I choose the spotter for this build. It's because it makes it much easier to pulse the enemies, and also you're going to give them disrupt as well and disoriented. So that means that the targets they usually stay within that area because of the disoriented, and you can actually shoot them down. So that's a very important point when you're using this LMG. Try to shoot 50 bullets and then use a skill in order to trigger that effect. Now for the other weapon, I have the M1A CQB, which you can see here, godlike roll with critical hit damage and damage to target auto cover with optimist on it. For the mods, I choose the critical hit chance, the 5+ rounds, the link laser pointer that comes with the technician. That's one of the reasons that I choose the technician, and also the critical hit damage. Technician, yeah, this is basically one, and the second is that I have 3 red cores and 3 blue cores. That means 0 utility. So I wanted to give like one special one skill tier in order for the foam, because I'm using the foam in the revive hive. In order to use a skill, so I can disoriented, disrupt, and also pull the enemy while foam. So while in foam, so that makes it that the target is going to stand still, and that's, in my opinion, that's the best combination, because you're going to melt, especially if you get the 50 stacks, you're going to melt the target easily. Now keep in mind that it's easier to get the rest of the damage, because usually LMGs takes a lot time to reload. So let's say, for example, if you mark the 50 stacks, then you have, because this weapon has only 100 bullets, so you'll be having 50 plus, you're going to have 50 or less bullets in order to do that damage. But keep in mind that this one reloads very fast compared to the other LMGs. So you can see it reloads exactly like an assault rifle, so it's very easy to pin down to shoot the targets, get the stacks on it, and then use the foam in order to catch the target. And also, if you have like the 50 stacks on one target, then you can on all targets, because you don't have to place all the marked on one enemy. You can place on every enemy that you shoot on. So you need to have like 50 stacks, and afterwards you can use the foam. And if they're all close together, the target that is going to be foam is going to stick there, and the other ones are going to be disoriented. So that's an easy way how you can melt enemies down. Even though I have red 3 blue cores, I still do a lot of damage with this one. And in my opinion, that's best the combination to have is the spotter for this one, is because you're going to increase have increased bonus damage coming from the talent on the chest piece. Now let's go over the stats real quick. So I have here 58% critical hit chance and 154 critical hit damage. I can go higher, but the items that I have are not kind of like optimized, and I need to farm for better chest piece. As you saw, I have headshot damage instead of critical hit chance, and so on and so forth. But I think that you can easily reach 170 plus critical hit damage on this build, so you'll be able to do a lot of damage coming from this one. Yeah, for the handgun, there's nothing I can show you. It's basically an M9A1. I choose this one for the damage to target out of cover and close and personal if they get close to me and I don't have, let's say I need to reload both the rifle and the LMG at once, and I need to kill a target quicker. But rather than that, handgun is not something that you need to focus on for this build. So yeah, I'll probably say like this is the build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see more The Division 2 content like this, and until next time, have a good one.